C18. Okay, so the link untuk attendance ada dekat dalam chat room. Ramai orang. So I know cohort 42 ada 48 students. Cohort 18 ada 18 kan?
21.
21. 48, 20, about 68, 70, 79. Ada about 15 lagi yang belum join. Audio saya clear tak? Kamu boleh dengar dengan jelas? Can somebody confirm? Kalau audio saya putus-putus ataupun tak clear, tolong bagi tahu sebab saya baru pakai mic baru. So saya tak sure the performance is okay or not. Alright, so kita mula dulu lah. The rest tu kita akan admit as we go on. Okay, Assalamualaikum, good afternoon. Apa khabar semua? Hopefully semua sihat, tak terkesan from any diseases ataupun COVID. Before kita mula, I'll introduce myself. I'm Auf, Abdul Rahman Auf bin Ali. Saya asal daripada Sungai Petani, Kedah. Now I've been living in Nilai for 5 years. Before I was a teacher, before I was teaching, I was a chemist. I was a quality control chemist. Saya kerja sebagai quality control chemist dalam company Pharma Niaga Manufacturing Berhad for 6 years. So out of university saya terus masuk dalam bidang pharmaceutical manufacturing, specifically dalam bahagian testing lah. Okay, saya graduate from USM in 2010 in chemical sciences, and then I got into pharmaceutical manufacturing. I performed tests on pharmaceutical drugs for almost 7 years, and then in 2016, at the end of 2016, I got into teaching because I would like to venture into a new field. And I feel like teaching suited me more than being in the industry. So I've been out of university, saya dah ada 11 years lah of experience, including the industry dan juga teaching. So I've been teaching since 2016. Saya ajar chemistry dekat Sekolah Farmasi Nilai. Saya ajar 3 modul, Pharmaceutical Chemistry 1, Pharmaceutical Chemistry 2, dan juga Instrumentation Analysis. And right now, as of this year, I'm also a student. Saya juga menambung pengajian dalam master's degree di KPJUC. So both of us adalah student KPJUC. So nice to meet you all. Sorry tak boleh jumpa in person. Hopefully starting next year kita boleh greet each other in class. Because starting in October, staff KPGUC dah start alternate rotation datang ke campus. Saya pun kena start mengajar lab class for some of our last year final year students starting in October. So if things are looking good, hopefully next year semua orang boleh datang ke campus dengan selamat. Okay, so far dah ada 68. Kalau 48, 20, ada buat dua orang lagi belum join. Okay, so welcome to my class. This is PHCH 4112, PHCH 4112, Pharmaceutical Chemistry 1. Kamu dah ada sesi orientasi kan, dah ada orang greet kamu, selamat datang ke KPGUC. So I would like to extend the welcome because saya tak sempat nak join your orientation hari tu because saya ada kelas. So welcome to KPJUC. This is our School of Pharmacy. Although you are not here physically, saya berharap you have a good experience lah as a student because this is not the pandemic is beyond our control. Kita semua tak boleh nak kawal. Okay, we're just trying to do our best in unprecedented situation. Itu bermaksud kita tak pernah lagi lalui kejadian macam ni. So we are trying our best to cope with the situation. So kalau kamu ada internet problem, don't worry. As long as you register, you sign in attendance, saya akan record lah kedatangan kamu. Okay, saya pun faham sebab saya pun ada internet problem. So kadang-kadang tak stabil, kadang-kadang stabil. So kalau kamu guna data, just prepaid data lagilah teruk dia punya connection. Saya guna wifi pun tak ada effect. So don't worry, I understand, but make sure kamu tak ketinggalan lah dalam pengajian. Okay, so if you have to miss a few classes, a few lectures, it will affect your learning. So make sure kamu boleh get back on what you're missing. Kalau kamu macam terlepas kelas, make sure kamu dapatkan all the materials from your friends ataupun kamu PM saya apa yang kamu miss dalam kelas yang kamu tak dapat nak join tu. Okay? Ya, saya nak share malam. Sorry?
I'm Pavitra, class rep for 42.
Sorry, ulang sekali lagi please. Saya punya audio tak clear.
I'm Pavitra, class rep for C42.
Yes. Sorry. Thank you, Pavitra. Yes, I know your name. Kamu yang contact saya. And Alvin, you're from cohort 18. Okay, nice to meet you.
From my class today, got one person will be late because got some personal issues. So,
okay, understood.
So can I ask her to attendance on WhatsApp? Or?
Sorry?
I send the link.
Sure, can. You send the link to me.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Okay, so hari ini it will be basically an introduction to the module. Okay, saya nak jelaskan pada kamu what this module is all about, apa yang kamu kena buat, what are the things that you have to do to for your grade, type of assessment, macam mana kita nak buat semua tu. Okay, but before we go through all the technical details, saya nak bercerita sikit lah, okay? Because this is, as you know, the name of the module adalah Pharmaceutical Chemistry 101. So the problem is, bukan problem, sekejap saya nak present my screen. The thing with pharmaceutical chemistry, okay, ramai students, especially KPJUC students, yang enroll in our pharmacy program, most of them tak ada strong background in science, tak ada strong background in chemistry. So just by like clicking the hand gesture here, raise the hand. How many of you were not from science background? Ramai tak? So ramai. So from here, dah ada 22. That's 1/3 of the class, cohort 18 and cohort 42. So 1/3. That's about right lah. Selalunya that much lah of the students. 1/3 daripada kelas yang saya ajar tak ada strong chemistry background, tak ada science background. So this could be a problem. Because kamu akan go through a few terms, a few technical terms yang kamu macam tak familiar. So I would sometimes use that term, kata-kata yang kamu tak pernah dengar, kata-kata yang specific to chemistry yang kamu tak pernah dengar. So kalau macam saya guna those words dalam saya punya lecture class, so kamu boleh jadi lost. I don't know what that means. So point yang saya nak ceritakan pun kamu tak faham because kamu tak faham certain terms. So, how I'm, so at the end of today, saya nak buat satu like an assessment. Saya nak assess tahap kefahaman kamu on basic chemistry knowledge. Dia bukan assessment, dia bukan macam untuk grades. Just untuk saya tengok tahap kefahaman kamu semua takat mana. Kamu ada kefahaman yang bagus ke, rendah ke, ataupun medium. So, bila saya tahu overall tahap kefahaman kelas, kedua-dua kelas ni macam mana, saya boleh tailor my teaching, saya boleh saya boleh gunakan an easier language so that most of you would understand, so that saya boleh terangkan dengan lebih jelas, kamu faham dengan lebih senang, supaya saya boleh gunakan contoh yang semua orang boleh faham. Okay? That's the assessment part yang saya nak ceritakan. Kita akan buat guna quizzes. Okay? So saya rasa saya nak buat itu dululah. Okay, saya nak buat quizzes tu dulu. So this is the link. Saya akan share dekat dalam chat room. Kalau kamu tak boleh join, tak apa, saya faham. Because of internet problems. Bagi yang boleh join, please join. Okay, so this quiz saya buat dalam bentuk lesson instructor pace, meaning kamu jawab satu soalan, kita akan tengok soalan tu, kita akan review, kalau ramai salah saya boleh explain. So it's basically like a mini class lah. 42. By the way, welcome to my house. This is my house. Kamu boleh nampak teacher saya kat belakang yang semua. So please ignore the background. Okay, ramai boleh join. Sekejap, I'm refreshing. Okay, ada about 55 tadi saya nampak. 56. So kita mula dulu. Yang nak join later boleh try to join later. Okay? So let's start now. Just 15 basic questions about chemistry. Okay, bagi yang tak boleh join, just tengok dekat screen kamu. This is the first question. All matter is made of what? Energy, atoms, electrons, or compounds? Which one of these are the making of atoms? Alright, so the right answer adalah atoms. Okay, atoms, there's a saying that goes, atoms are the building blocks of matter. Kalau blok batu bata tu adalah struktur untuk kita buat bangunan, buat rumah. Atoms is the blocks. Atom adalah batu bata untuk everything. Okay, matter in this case, dia tanya kat sini, dia kata kat sini, matter means everything that you can see and touch yang ada jisim, yang ada berat. Okay, so basically everything that you can see around you are matter, bahan, substance. Okay, and all of that are made up of atoms. So dalam this module kita akan tengok dengan lebih detail lagi apakah itu atoms and how it can affect your understanding in pharmacy. Sekejap, ada orang nak join. Next question. The positive particles of an atom are what? Options saya bagi kat sini. Which of these bercharge positive? Electrons, positrons, neutrons, protons. Okay, so the answer adalah 33. So more than half jawab dengan betul. Okay, so there are 3 subatomic particles yang kita akan belajar dalam syllabus ni, dalam our module. Ada banyak subatomic particles, but the main 3 yang kita akan belajar adalah proton, electrons, dan juga neutrons. These are the 3 basic fundamental particle yang that are responsible for the formation of molecules, formation of mixtures, tindak balas kimia. So this also we will learn in detail lagi dalam chapter 2, atomic structure. Next question, the central region of an atom where its neutrons and protons is what? Okay, kalau kamu ambil subjek kimia, chemistry in your SPM, this have been included in your class, in your syllabus already. So this is basically a revision lah, ulang kaji. Kalau kamu dah pernah ambil, maybe kamu terlupa. Oh sorry, time dah habis. Betul, jawapannya adalah nucleus. Okay, most of you got it right. So the center, kalau kamu macam clueless, the word nucleus tu is inferring, it's implying to the center of something. Kalau kamu belajar biology, you learn about single cell. Dalam satu sel tu, there's a nucleus at the center. So the same goes for an atom. At the center of an atom, there's a region we call the nucleus. And inside the nucleus is where protons and neutrons reside. Next question. An atom with atomic number 6 would have how many protons? So option kat sini ada 6, 12, 3 ataupun cannot be determined. There's no way of knowing. Is it possible? Kalau kamu nak tiru kawan-kawan kamu, tengok kat sini, ramai jawab 6. 12 ada 1, ada 11 orang jawab. Cannot be determined ada cakap ni. Okay, so the right answer adalah 6. Okay, so kalau you will learn this also in our module chapter 5, the periodic table of the elements. Dalam modul tu kita akan belajar macam mana kita nak baca, how do we understand, how do we interpret the periodic table of elements, jadual berkala unsur. Because as a person who study chemistry, it is a skill that you must have reading the periodic table. Okay, membaca, menjelaskan dan memahami jadual berkala unsur itu adalah salah satu skill bagi seseorang yang mempelajari subjek kimia. So as a pharmacist, chemistry is the building blocks. Chemistry, subjek kimia ni adalah the perkara asas yang mesti difahami, mesti diketahui supaya kita boleh aplikasikan the knowledge dalam bidang farmasi. Okay, so in pharmacy we apply the knowledge of chemistry. Because in pharmacy kamu belajar a mixture of chemistry, you belajar math, kamu belajar biology sikit. So because the study of pharmacy, you are working with drugs that goes into the body, dan macam mana ubat tu mempengaruhi, macam mana ubat tu bertindak balas dengan badan kita. Ada some ubat dia kena makan lepas after we had a meal. Kenapa? Because the drug is well more absorbed lepas kita hadam makanan. Okay, because ubat tu lebih mudah diserap dalam badan bila dia ada dalam usus kita. Contohnya macam ubat paracetamol, okay, Panadol yang kamu makan bila kamu rasa macam nak demam, sakit kepala. Ubat tu elok dimakan selepas kita makan sesuatu, if we have a meal first. Because bila kita makan something, dia akan dihadam bersama makanan. So that it goes into our usus besar. So that is where the drug is well absorbed by the body. Diserap terus, masuk dalam sel darah, then it goes to the affected area. Okay, itu kamu akan belajar dalam pharmacology ke pharmacokinetics, I'm not sure. Sebab saya bukan pharmacy graduate. So for you to untuk kamu ada kefahaman yang advance macam tu, you have to work on your basics first. Kamu mesti tahu macam mana nak baca periodic table of elements. In fact, kalau kamu pergi exam, masuk dalam exam hall dalam campus, kalau kamu nak buat exam chemistry, kamu akan diberikan sehelai jadual berkala unsur so that kamu boleh buat rujukan untuk jawab soalan. So it's not cheating. You must know how to read the periodic table of elements. It is a very valuable skill as a chemist. Okay, next question. Tapi most of you jawab betul banyak, so that is looking good. Particles in an atom that are neutral and have no charge are what? Ada negatrons, electrons, neutrons, and protons. Macam saya cakap tadi, subatomic particles ada 3. The ones yang positif adalah proton, so that makes ada 2 lagi. So ramai jawab neutron dekat sini, and that is the right answer. Okay, ada 3 subatomic particles. The first one is proton, bercharge positive. The second one is neutron, neutral, tidak ada charge, and both of them duduk di tengah-tengah atom dalam kawasan yang kita panggil sebagai nucleus itu. They sit together. And the other one is electron, and dia bercharge negative. That's basically the fundamentals in chapter 2, atomic particles. Alright, so carbon is considered an element while carbon dioxide is considered a compound. So this is because carbon dioxide is what? Jawapannya adalah is made up of 2 different elements. Okay, option number 2. Okay, so dalam this module kamu akan belajar in chapter 1. Kamu akan belajar about matter and the categories of matter, substances. You must know how to differentiate between the different types of matter. Kita ada element, kita ada molecule, compounds, and kita ada mixture. So if you can understand the differences between these things, then you can understand the reactions, what could affect different reactions of different things, how to identify between molecules and atoms and elements and mixture. Okay, everything is the fundamentals, very basic. So that is what we want you to have as a first year student. So kat sini carbon is considered, dia kata carbon is considered an element while carbon dioxide is considered a compound. So ini kat sini dia dah tunjuk 2 jenis, 2 types of matter. Okay, we have the first one is element and we have kat sini compound ataupun sometimes kita panggil dia sebagai molecule. Okay, element ni adalah sejenis bahan yang terdiri daripada satu atom saja. Okay, matter that is only made up of the same atom. Contohnya macam hydrogen, helium, oxygen, apa lagi, gold, silver. Okay, semua ni adalah elemen. Kalau compound, it is a mixture, combination of elements. Contohnya macam dalam soalan tadi, carbon dioxide, CO2. Other examples, H2O, apa lagi, hydrochloric acid, okay, sodium hydroxide, ammonia. So bila kita combine different elements, atoms of different elements, dia akan jadi molecule, compound. Kalau ada single element saja is made up of the same atom, dia adalah element. Okay? Next one. After kita habis this quiz, kita akan take 5 saat. This question, let me enlarge. How many protons does this atom have? So this is an example, an excerpt of the periodic table. So kalau kamu boleh baca ni, kamu boleh tahu how many protons dia ada, how many electrons dia ada, what is the mass of this element. Options are 2.5, 6, 5, and 10.8. Jawapannya adalah 5. Okay, so dalam periodic table, this is the
Number.
Yeah, hello. this is the the symbol yang ada dalam of all the elements yang ada dalam periodic table. This is the chemical symbol untuk elemen boron. So nama dia kat atas ni, this is the chemical symbol untuk boron. Kat atas ni adalah dia punya atomic number, kat bawah ada dia punya atomic mass, dia punya jisim, dia punya berat. Okay, so the atomic number is 5. That means atomic number refer to the number of proton. Okay, so ada sebab kenapa atomic number equals to the number of proton, because identiti sesuatu elemen tu bergantung kepada bilangan proton. Okay, so kalau elemen tu dia ada 5 bilangan proton dia, the atomic number is 5. Kalau dah ada macam kehilangan 1 proton, dia dah jadi elemen lain. Dia bukan lagi boron. Okay, so bilangan proton tu akan mempengaruhi identiti sesuatu elemen. For example, contohnya macam saya selalu bagi contoh ni, matahari. How do you explain di angkasa where there are no oxygen? Okay, there are no oxygen untuk berlakunya combustion, pembakaran. Macam mana matahari boleh terbakar? How is it possible? Does anyone know? Like the principle ke, the theory ke yang kamu pernah dengar? How does the sun burns in space? This is the sun, and this is the fire. Okay, so I take it tak ada orang jawab because nobody knows. Alright, so the fire, the sun burns because of the nuclear, something called nuclear fission. Nuclear fission is a term that we use to describe satu proses di mana atom tu terpecah. Atom terpecah, separated because dia kehilangan dia punya something in the nucleus. Okay? The sun burns because of the nuclear fission of helium gas. Okay? Not enough oxygen around the sun. So helium gas, there is a lot. So you have to remember, matahari ni adalah a dead star. Not a dead star, a dying star. Okay? Bintang yang sedang dalam proses untuk mati. So a star bila dah sampai satu tahap di mana it has used up all of its resources, okay, dia akan jadi terlalu dense, dia akan collapse on itself. Okay, dia punya teras, the core of the star akan jadi terlalu mempunyai gravity yang terlalu besar, dia akan tarik everything around it into the core. Lalu ada jadi in the end dia akan jadi a black hole. So our sun lama kelamaan nanti dia akan jadi satu lubang hitam, a black hole. So it is on its way. But for now, it is burning itself menggunakan helium because it is dying by the pulling of its own gravity. So my point here is, saya nak terangkan macam mana bilangan proton tu mempengaruhi identiti sesuatu elemen. So helium here in this case dia ada dua proton. Helium ada dua proton. Because of the dying star, dia mempunyai tarikan graviti yang sangat kuat. Tarikan graviti matahari tu boleh mempengaruhi tarikan proton yang ada di dalam helium ni. So at the center of helium ni dia ada dua proton. Ada dua proton. Okay, this is proton number 1, this is proton number 2. Saya share screen saya kan? Nanti saya dah cakap panjang-panjang ni kamu tak dengar apa. Okay, alright. Wait a minute, saya share tab saja. Nobody told me. Okay, never mind. Okay, inilah yang saya conteng banyak-banyak tadi. So this is the sun, nuclear fission. So sekeliling matahari itu ada banyak helium gas. So and this is the atom of helium gas. Di tengah-tengahnya ada dua proton. Okay? Disebabkan tarikan graviti matahari itu terlalu kuat, dia akan affect the pooling of the proton yang ada di dalam atom helium ni. So ini menyebabkan the nucleus of atom helium tu pecah. So dia akan menjadi hydrogen atom. Because hydrogen mempunyai satu proton sahaja. So the energy that it requires to memecahkan nucleus of an atom, mengeluarkan satu proton daripada the nucleus of an atom is so high, berlakulah pembakaran. Okay, a nuclear reaction. That's how the sun burns without oxygen. So kat sini my point is, asalnya around the sun tu dipenuhi oleh helium gas. Tapi disebabkan oleh tarikan graviti dia sangat kuat, dia mengeluarkan satu proton daripada helium tu and it separates the atom into two atoms. Hydrogen and it is used up as fuel untuk membakar matahari. So one day all of the helium will be used up. Dia tak boleh lagi dah nak buat nuclear fusion. So matahari akan stop from terbakar. So my point here is this lah. Okay, the number, the atomic number is the identity, macam my card kita. Okay, we have an identity number, my card, IC number. So that is our identity. Everyone is different. If we change a single digit from our IC, it is not our IC anymore. Dah jadi IC orang lain lah. Okay, moving on. Next question. What part of the atom is the arrow pointing to? Bagi yang tak nampak. So kat sini ada satu atomic model, atomic structure. Ada nucleus, dekat tengah-tengah tu nucleus, and ada dua circles around the nucleus. So ditanya kat situ, what part of the atom? Arrow tu tengah tunjuk apa? Okay, time's up. The answer is electron shell. Okay, almost 1/3 of you, 21 only jawab betul. Alright, so this is the picture of an atomic. This is a picture of an atomic structure, atomic model. Ini dikenali sebagai Niels Bohr, Bohr atomic model. Bohr is a person yang came up and developed model ni. So kat tengah-tengah ni adalah the nucleus. Yang positif ni adalah proton, yang kosong ni adalah neutron. Sebab neutron charge neutral, dia tidak ada charge. Dan elektron akan bergerak mengelilingi nucleus. So dia akan bergerak, Bohr dia buat model ni, berdasarkan the energy of electron. Okay, dia kata elektron yang tenaganya rendah, have low energy, dia akan orbit, dia akan bergerak berdekatan dengan nukleus. Elektron yang ada energi yang tinggi, yang lebih tinggi, dia akan bergerak jauh sedikit daripada nukleus. So the higher the energy any electron has, dia akan travel in a nucleus farther from the nucleus, in an orbit farther than the nucleus. Sama lah macam kita, kalau kita tak ada tenaga, takkan kita nak keluar rumah jauh-jauh kan, because nanti tak larat balik rumah. So kita just jalan-jalan dekat area rumah saja. Kalau macam kamu first time nak get into exercise, kamu tak tahu lagi how much you need, energy you need to perform, kamu macam takkan nak first time join marathon, kamu nak lari 20 km terus. Mestilah kamu lari about 1 km saja dulu, kamu nak gauge your energy. So the same logic applies untuk electrons. Kalau dia ada banyak energy, travel farther from the nucleus. For the low energy, travel closer to the nucleus. So this is important because dalam tindak balas kimia, in a chemical reaction, in a chemical bond, okay, macam mana molekul, macam mana atom membuat ikatan kimia, semua itu dipengaruhi oleh the movement of electrons. Okay, so that's why kita mesti faham the behavior of electrons, which we also learn dalam chapter 2 dan juga 5 nanti. I'll explain about the chapters after the break later. Next one. If the number of protons equal to the number of blank, the atom will have no charge. So what is blank here? Proton ke, neutron ke, electron ke, nucleus? The atom will have no charge. So kalau kamu nak tidur, wah, almost the same. Jawapan yang betul adalah elektron. Okay, so the charge kat sini macam I need to explain dengan lebih lanjut because ramai orang salah. Okay, charge sesuatu atom tu bergantung kepada the difference of protons dan juga electrons. You have to remember proton bercharge positif, elektron bercharge negatif. So ada sedikit math involved here. So dalam this module kamu akan mana mouse? Kamu akan apply a bit of math. So kat sini kalau contohnya atom ni dia boleh kehilangan elektron ataupun dia boleh terima elektron. Okay, electron can go in and out of an atom. Okay, for example, contohnya macam oxygen atom. Oxygen atom kalau dia kehilangan satu elektron, dia akan jadi semakin, no, that's a bad example, bad way of saying it. Macam elemen boron tadi. Okay, elemen boron dia ada 5 protons. Okay, so 5 protons. Bilangan proton dan juga bilangan neutron adalah sama. So kalau kita tahu from the periodic table, the atomic number is 5, macam dalam soalan tadi. So bilangan proton dia adalah 5. Bilangan elektron also 5. So this element boron ni dia tidak ada charge. Dia tak indicate pun berapa charge kat sini. So that's why we know dia adalah neutral. Because 5 kat sini, proton bercharge positif. Elektron ni bercharge negatif. So kalau 5 tambah dengan negatif 5 equals to 5 tolak 5, jadilah kosong. So there's no charge. Tetapi kalau boron ni kehilangan satu elektron, katakanlah elektron tu it gets too much energy, dia nak form, dia menyebabkan struktur boron ni tak stabil. So the nucleus kicks out the electron so that the electron can form another bond with another atom. Okay, so katakanlah dia kehilangan satu elektron. So that means this boron now has 5 proton dan juga 4 electrons. So how many, what is the charge now? So kamu buat the same calculation, 5 tambah negatif 4. So 5 tolak 4 menjadi 1. So the charge of this boron is now B plus. Dia ada positif 1 dekat sini. Okay, the logic here is it could be confusing. Kenapa tak saya selalu bagi contoh macam behavior manusia. So kalau manusia dia pick up something bad, okay, dia buat satu bad habit. Katakanlah macam saya, one day saya jadi malas, saya suka buang sampah merata-rata. So I pick up a bad habit, something negative. So saya as a person jadi semakin negatif lah because saya buang sampah merata-rata. So when I pick up a bad habit, saya jadi semakin negatif. When I lose a bad habit, katakanlah next week saya perasan, okay, I'm being a bad person, this is not nice, I'm dirtying up the place. So saya stop buang sampah merata-rata. Bila saya buang satu bad habit, saya akan jadi semakin positif. So that's my logic lah of how I understand this. So kalau this boron tadi, dia kehilangan satu elektron dan elektron tu bercharge negatif. So maksudnya dia kehilangan something yang negatif. So that's why dia jadi semakin positif. Kalau this boron terima energy, terima elektron, dia ada asalnya ada 5 proton dan dia ada 5 elektron. Katakanlah dia dapat satu elektron from somebody. So now dia ada 5 proton dan juga 6 elektron. So that makes the charge jadi 5 tambah negatif 6. That makes 5 tolak 6. Jadilah negatif 1. So now this boron ada charge negatif 1. Because they pick up something negative, 1 elektron. So bila somebody pick up something negative, dia jadi semakin negatif. Kalau saya pick up a bad habit, macam contoh saya bagi tadi, saya jadi semakin orang yang negatif lah, saya buat something bad. So bila one atom pick up 1 electron, it becomes more negative. Okay, so kalau kamu tak tahu sekarang, don't worry, kamu akan belajar ini dengan lebih detail with tutorial and exercises dalam chapter 5 nanti. Or chapter 2, introduction. Okay, let's go back to the question. Ada 5 soalan lagi lah, please bear with me. Kita ada kelas sampai pukul 4 hari ini, kita akan take 5 or 10 later. Which one of the following represents an element? H2O ke, H2 ke, NaCl ke, ataupun CaCO3? Which one of these 4 kamu rasa adalah elemen? Water, hydrogen gas, sodium chloride, garam, dan juga calcium carbonate. So far semua option ada jawapan. Maksud saya semua option ada orang pilih. Okay, time's up. The right answer adalah H2. So kat sini saya nak tanya siapa yang nak jawab. Kenapa yang bagi yang jawab H2O ni, 16 orang yang jawab H2O ni, kenapa kamu rasa jawapannya adalah H2O? Adakah kamu salah baca soalan ataupun saya nak tahu how do you understand? Ataupun siapa yang jawab NaCl ni ke, nak volunteer? Why do you think kamu jawab NaCl?
Sir, I do NaCl.
Why do you answer NaCl?
Because they want chloride.
Okay.
Element.
Kamu kata chlorine, Cl, chloride ni adalah elemen.
Yes.
Okay. Dan kenapa bukan I would ask you kenapa kamu tak pilih H2O? Because H, hydrogen is also an element, oxygen is also an element. Sebab kamu tak sure, so that kamu just pick which one, either one. Is that why?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for answering. No problem. Okay. So NaCl jawapannya salah, H2O salah, calcium carbonate also salah. So you have to read back the question. Dia kata kat sini, which of the following represents an element? So you have to remember back what is the definition of an element. So definition of an element adalah a matter that is made up of the same atom. The same atom. That's the definition of element. Okay, so in these options, kita ada 4 jenis and only one of them is made up of the same atoms, iaitu hydrogen. Okay, so kalau kamu tak tahu tak apalah, because this is not even the first class, this is an introduction. So now you know. Beforehand, before our class even start, now you know already what is element. Okay, the first thing that any chemistry student should know, what is an element? What is the definition of an element? It is a matter, it is something that is made up of only the same atom. Oxygen gas, itu adalah sejenis elemen, tapi dia ada 2 atom. Okay, it is true, chlorine Cl ni adalah elemen, tapi when 2 different elements combine, dia akan menghasilkan molecule, dia akan menghasilkan compound. Okay, definition of molecule, definition of compound adalah when different elements mixed up. So kalau kamu ada, what's paracetamol? Paracetamol is the name untuk Panadol lah, the active ingredient of Panadol, ubat Panadol, ubat demam, ubat painkiller tu. So it is made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and juga nitrogen. There are 4 different elements tu. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen dan juga nitrogen. This is the atoms that involves in the making of PCM tablets. PCM punya API, active ingredient. So when different atoms of different elements combine, dia boleh menghasilkan compound. Bila compound combine with one another, dia boleh menghasilkan mixture. Okay? Kamu akan tengok lagi lebih lanjut in detail dalam chapter 1 nanti. What is the difference? Kategori-kategori matter. Okay, thank you for answering tadi. Saya tak tahu pula siapa. Sorry ya. Next one, kita ada 4 more questions. A combination of substances that are not chemically combined is called a what? Kamu rasa apa? Saya tahu kamu tak pernah, this is not even your first class. Kalau kamu tak tahu, you can just hentam. Ataupun kalau kamu macam tahu sikit-sikit, kamu nak macam buat an educated guess, you could do that also. Kamu rasa macam betul, so you just do that. Alright, so kat sini jawapannya adalah mixture. Okay, a combination of substances that are not chemically combined, it's called a mixture. So kat sini saya nak olah sikit. So far kamu dah diperkenalkan dengan the term element, compound dan juga saya nak adjust, dan juga mixture. Okay, so these are the 3 subcategories of matter. Okay, pecahan untuk matter: element, compound, mixture. So element ni is made up of similar atoms. Okay, similar atoms. Kita dah establish ni tadi. Compound pula kalau different element combine. Okay, ini contoh macam hydrogen gas, helium gas, gold, silver, compound macam H2O, air, carbon dioxide, apa lagi, ammonia, acid HCl. Okay, ini adalah compound. Mixture pula adalah bila all these things, bila elemen dan juga compound bercampur tapi bukan secara kimia. Maksud saya adalah contohnya macam air pipe. Okay, dalam air pipe tu ada pelbagai bahan-bahan. Okay, pipe water, pipe H2O lah saya tulis. Okay, because dalam air pipe tu dia sudah it is treated dalam logi. Dia ada, as you all know, dia ada chlorine, dia ada other chemicals, maybe ada microorganism. So dia bercampur. Dalam air pipe tu dia ada H2O, this is the molecule for water. Dia ada chlorine, this is the treatment yang dimasukkan dalam air dalam logi. Okay, this is one example of mixture. Ataupun contohnya air sungai, air laut, sea water. Dalam air laut tu is the molecule for water adalah H2O, ada garam, NaCl, ada other things lagi, ada excrements of animals. Okay, reactions between the algae, the sunlight, ada macam-macam lagi. Kesemuanya tidak terikat. Okay, H2O dan NaCl ni tidak menghasilkan ikatan kimia. H2O dan chlorine ni tidak menghasilkan ikatan kimia. Dia hanya bercampur saja. Macam kamu lah, if you go into class, you do not form kamu boleh, you can get separated from your friends. Bila you get together in a class, you are in a mix. But later bila kelas dah habis, you go to your campus, you go to your bilik, kamu duduk seorang-seorang. But you yourself, you are connected. Tangan kamu bercantum dengan badan kamu. Your head is attached to your body. You are a compound. Okay? So that's the analogy lah. Okay, it is not accurate. Itu adalah definition of mixture. Dia bercampur tapi dia tidak menghasilkan ikatan kimia. This hydrogen here, for example, it is a compound because atom oksigen dan hydrogen menghasilkan ikatan kimia. This is a chemical bond. Ada ikatan kimia antara atom hidrogen dan juga oksigen. Tapi kalau air laut yang masin tu dia ada campuran antara H2O dan garam, NaCl. That's why air laut masin. Tapi molekul air tidak menghasilkan ikatan kimia antara dua ni. Itu perbezaan antara mixture dan juga compound. Okay, 3 more questions. Okay, moving on. An element, this is macam soalan bocor, kita dah jawab tadi. So element is made up of only one kind of what? Isotop ke, plastik ke, atom ke, ataupun metal? So berdirilah. Okay, 5 more seconds. Okay, the right answer is almost that's 90% of you guys jawab betul, atom. Okay, mostly because sebelum ni a couple of questions saya dah explain lah. Element is only made up of a similar atom. Okay, it doesn't really matter how many atoms are there, tapi satu jenis atom saja. Contohnya macam elemen helium is made up of helium atoms only. Hydrogen gas is only made up of hydrogen atoms only. Okay, isotope is something else. Kita akan belajar juga. So later on kamu akan tahu bezakan what is isotope. Moving on, our third last question. What subatomic particles would you find in the nucleus? So this is another model of the atomic structure. This is the nucleus and this is the orbit untuk elektron. Elektron bergerak mengelilingi nucleus. So soalan ni dia tanya subatomic particle apa yang ada di dalam nucleus. Okay, time's up and the answer adalah protons and neutrons. Okay, the center of the nucleus, the center of an atom ada nucleus, and inside the nucleus is where protons reside dan juga neutrons. And electrons bergerak. Elektron bergerak mengelilingi, bukan mengelilingi, dia akan bergerak in random. Okay, dia akan bergerak just moving around secara rambang around the nucleus. The ones yang kita guna ni just a model untuk explain the structure of an atom. Tapi at the center adalah proton dan juga neutron. Later there's a story how this structure is developed. So I'll tell you that story dalam chapter 2 nanti. Second last question. What subatomic particles would be found orbiting the nucleus, which is also a soalan bocor. Kita jawab tadi. Dalam picture ni pun dia dah bagi jawapan. Okay, I end lah because kita dah jawab ni tadi. Basically, the right answer adalah elektron. Elektron tu dia akan orbit nucleus, dia akan bergerak. Tapi ramai juga bisa jawab salah, which is kind of troubling. Okay, electron move around. Proton dan neutron just sits at the center, tak bergerak. And our last question. What are the three subatomic particles that make up the atom? So we have go over this multiple times sepanjang kita buat quiz ni. Saya dah ulang beberapa kali. Hopefully it sticks. Okay, so kat sini subatomic particle. Particle tu adalah zarah. Dalam bahasa Melayu adalah zarah. So ada tiga zarah di dalam sesuatu atom. Dia ada proton, neutron dan juga elektron. That's the answer. Okay, so subatomic particle meaning zarah yang ada di dalam atom. Okay, particle that is inside. Subatomic. Atomic is an atom. Dia tengah describe the atom. Sub tu is describing the atom. Dia tengah cakap something that is inside. Itu maksud subatomic. So kalau macam kamu tak tahu nak jawab soalan ni because you don't understand the terms, itu maksud subatomic particle. Okay, there are three subatomic particles, tiga benda yang ada di dalam atom, tiga zarah yang ada di dalam atom, iaitu proton, neutron dan juga elektron. Okay, so thank you for participating. I see that most of you got it right. Semua ada basic yang enough. Yang paling sikit tadi pun yang 18 itu apa dia saya lupa. Tapi saya dah explain panjang-panjang tadi. So kita akan take 5, kita akan sambung our class in 5 more minutes. 3 suku. Hi, no Kirtana, welcome. Class on break, 5-minute break. Now we're back. Okay. All right, so welcome back from the break. I'm well rested. Sorry tadi tekak pun dah kering. Alright, so sekarang saya nak tanya based from that quiz yang kamu baru buat tadi tu, and also based from your experience as pelajar sekolah menengah, saya nak tanya how many of you think subject science ataupun specifically subject chemistry ni susah? You can just tekan ikon tangan ni, raise your hand. Kamu rasa ramai jawab? Kamu rasa susah ni, subject science ni susah ke senang? Pengalaman kamu belajar so far subject science. Jamuna kata senang. Everybody else, no comment. Only physics is hard. I agree with you. Physics is hard. Okay, so I ask, kenapa ramai jawab senang? I would assume ramai orang akan jawab susah. Science is easy, sir. Good, okay, good for you. Bagi yang rasa susah, because from my experience, even my wife thinks chemistry. She doesn't like chemistry. Dia tak suka chemistry. Because cikgu yang dia ajar masa dia sekolah dulu, macam mana nak kata, dia kata he really did a bad job. The bad experience of being in the class terus buat dia rasa macam subjek chemistry tu dia tak berminat lah, susah. So I would figure ramai orang pun would have the same experience. Because I think the way we teach science subjects macam apa nama physics, biology ke chemistry ke even math is very exam oriented. Okay, kita tak ajar science tu, subject science tu macam like to inspire curiosity. We shove information. Okay, kita cakap okay hafal atom ada 3 jenis benda. I know I just did that, tapi ini just tadi tu just a quiz. Later on saya akan buat a different way of teaching lah. Okay, so from my experience also, masa kat sekolah, masa kat university, masuk dalam kelas, cikgu tulis dekat papan hitam, okay, read this, chapter ni ada ni. In the end, hafal these things untuk exam. So I think I realize this masa saya start mengajar lah, because saya tak nak, I don't want to be that kind of teacher. Jadi saya tak nak shove information into your head. Saya nak kamu faham, understand, and also saya nak kamu rasa rasa nak tahu. I want you to jadi curious. What's curious in Malay? Rasa ingin tahu. I want you to be curious so that you would have a drive to look for the answers. Kalau saya just shove information, kalau saya cakap, okay, bagi tahu kamu, okay, dalam atom ada 3 benda, proton, neutron, elektron. That's okay lah, senang nak hafal, maybe sebab ada 3 benda je. Nanti bila dah masuk multiple chapters, ada multiple subtopics, ada banyak benda yang kamu kena tahu because everything is related to one another, and then kamu akan jadi lost because if you don't hafal one thing, then kamu tak faham the next thing. So that is the problem saya rasa with teaching and learning science subjects. Kita just shove information. So I would like to inspire some sort of curiosity to students so that kamu ada rasa untuk ingin tahu. So when you have curiosity, you will look for the answers yourself. Kamu pun pernah tahu yang, saya tak tahulah kamu pernah buat macam ni ataupun tak. Kamu pernah tak go on a wiki binge? Kamu tengah nak study, kata kamu tengok movie. Kamu tengok movie and that movie bring up an interesting subject. Kamu just go to the wiki page, okay, there's a link to this subject kamu macam find interesting. You click on that subject. And then you read about that subject, kamu macam, okay, what is this? The cerita about something else, kamu macam nak tahu pasal benda tu. So that is basically what I mean bila saya nak kamu have a drive to look for the answers yourself. So that's because that's what I used to do lah. Saya tak tahu lah budak-budak zaman sekarang buat lagi ke tidak. Maybe these days kamu go on TikTok binge. Because TikTok also they do these things right now. Ada these topics and or people make videos about educational topics. Okay.
maybe that's the new generation punya stuff lah. Okay, so that's the what I think lah about teaching and learning science subjects, because science ni is not something that we made up. Okay, science, subject science macam chemistry, physics, or even math, biology, it's a study for us to explain what is happening around us. Contohnya macam chemistry. Okay, I explain chemistry because I'm a student of chemistry. Chemistry ni is, kalau kita nak in general, it is a study of change. Kita tengok perubahan sesuatu bahan, bila dia bertindak balas dengan bahan yang lain, dia akan menghasilkan bahan yang lain. Okay, so we observe the changes and kita cuba explain what causes the changes. Macam mana besi boleh berkarat? You see pagar besi kat luar rumah kamu tu, kalau dia macam tidak dicat dengan baik, lama kelamaan kalau dia kena hujan, dia akan karat. So kenapa jadi karat? What do you imagine orang yang pertama observe proses berkarat ni, macam dia nak jelaskan, besi dia pada asalnya keras, berkilat, tapi bila dia dah terdedah kepada air, dia jadi rapuh, warna darah merah. So how is this happening? So after a few observation and experiments, we found out that rusting is basically a process, an oxidation process. Besi pagar kat rumah kamu tu yang kalau berkarat, bukan saya nak kata besi pagar kat rumah kamu berkarat, anything lah outside your house or around your house yang kamu rasa berkarat, the reason why besi berkarat adalah sebab besi itu sudah teroksida, meaning besi itu sudah kehilangan elektron. So it has transformed from iron, which is the element for besi, iron sudah teroksida menjadi iron oxide. Fe jadi Fe2O3. So that is the study of chemistry. Dia bukan kita cipta untuk, it is not, because the reason why I'm saying this is because we as a society sort of have an understanding that, macam contohnya bila kita nak cerita about something, kita mesti macam nak clash the things together. Contohnya macam religion and science. Okay, so people have been like melagakan these two together. So I don't think you should lagakan between religion and science, because these are two different things. Religion is faith, what you believe in. Okay, what you practice because you believe in something. Science is not the same as religion, as faith. Science is a tool, alat yang manusia guna untuk explain the nature around us. We see, macam contoh saya bagi contoh karat tadi, besi itu berkarat, kenapa dia berkarat? So kita in the end kita tahu iron is oxidized. How do we know it's oxidized? Because we perform experiment, we do tests. Kita tengok, and in the end we understand that the iron lost electrons, dia jadi Fe2O3. This is iron oxide. Okay, this is besi yang berkilat tu. This is besi yang sudah rapuh, karat. So these are two different things, religion and science. So when you don't understand, when kamu nak tolak science sepenuhnya, I think it's because you don't understand what science is, ataupun you misunderstood what science is. Contohnya sekarang yang orang ramai macam zaman pandemik sekarang is how we handle COVID. Okay, COVID, one major way kita nak treat, kita nak handle this pandemic adalah dengan menggunakan vaksin. Okay, so there's a lot of discourse about, okay, perlu ke vaksin ni, perlu ataupun tidak perlu, is it safe or not. Some people suggest ivermectin. Saya tak tahu kamu aware of this or not. Ada some people tak nak ambil vaksin, they wanted just to use ivermectin. It's a tablet, it's anti-parasitic tablet. Before kamu join KPJUC, School of Pharmacy ada buat a talk, or they organize a talk about what is ivermectin, how is it good or not for COVID. So these are two different things. Ada orang argue kata ivermectin works. Ada orang kata it's not, it does not work. But the thing is, vaccine, it works because there are multiple clinical tests, clinical test studies. Ubat ni bila dia dibuat di mana-mana kilang, sebelum dia boleh dibuat untuk dipasarkan pada orang awam, dia mesti pass a series of clinical test. Dia bukan buat sekali ataupun dua saja, multiple clinical test. Clinical test maksudnya ubat tu diberikan kepada a few groups, sample group untuk tengok keberkesanan. Is it safe or not? Is it safe? Is it efficient? Does it work well as it intended? So kita perform test untuk tentukan dia selamat dan dia berkesan pada manusia, to humans. Ivermectin it works to treat coronavirus in animals. That's the issue. So dia hanya ada clinical test to treat coronavirus in animals. There are no clinical tests for humans. So doctors, even health professionals tak boleh nak prescribe ubat ni because that would be irresponsible. Ia adalah satu perbuatan tidak bertanggung jawab. Apologies for my blab just now. Okay, so that's the reason kita tak prescribe ivermectin to COVID patients because kita tidak ada kajian clinical studies yang banyak, yang lengkap untuk memastikan ivermectin tu boleh treat COVID dengan selamat dan juga berkesan. Kalau ada pun it's inconclusive. Kalau kita buat clinical studies, kita boleh control the environment. Kita boleh tahu, okay, kita nak treat COVID sahaja. Kita boleh pilih subjek yang ada COVID dan kita pilih control subjek yang tidak ada COVID. Kita bagi ke semuanya makan ubat tu ataupun kita vaccinate all of them, tengok berkesan ataupun tidak. What's the reaction of the virus to the vaccine? So before the vaccines is mass marketed, they have to go a series of clinical tests. So that's what I mean, yang sains ni adalah satu tool, alat yang manusia guna untuk explain the world around us, observation, the happenings, the nature. So physics, biology, pharmacy, chemistry, semuanya adalah alat yang kita guna untuk explain the happenings that are around us and within us. Okay? So that's why saya nak kamu join kelas saya lah. Okay? Saya nak kamu join kelas saya with that spirit in mind. Saya nak kamu tahu that science ni is not just about memorizing stuff. When you understand the story, the narrative, you will understand the subject, what we are studying. Okay? So bagi yang jawab senang ni is good lah. Okay? Tapi bagi yang tak jawab ataupun macam tak yakin, macam tak sure ataupun dah memang rasa tak senang, kamu join, kamu kena belajar chemistry ni sebab terpaksa, it's already in the program, tak boleh nak lari. So I would like you to begin ataupun join my class with an open mind, that it is not boring, it is not it is not too intimidating. Okay, you could start this, but you could understand this if you know the story. Okay, contohnya macam mana, how do we know there are 3 subatomic particles? Macam mana kita tahu ada proton, ada neutron, ada elektron dalam atom tu? Ada cerita dia. There is a development of series of hundreds of years. Macam mana kita boleh tahu ada ada subatomic particles. Right? So that is basically an introduction to this module. Okay, pharmaceutical chemistry is a module that is to equip you guys with the knowledge, with the fundamental knowledge of chemistry. Kami nak kamu semua ada ilmu-ilmu asas kimia supaya in the future, in your following years, your second year and your third year, you can apply those knowledge in your other in your other modules. Kamu kena gunakan ilmu pharmaceutical chemistry 1 ni dalam kelas pharmacokinetics, pharmacology. Kalau kamu sambung in bachelor's degree, you can apply the same thing also. Okay, sama lah macam kamu belajar. Okay, the skills that you belajar dalam sekolah rendah. Before you learn all these things yang kamu tahu sekarang ni, you learn how to write, you learn how to read. Without knowing how to write, without knowing how to read, how can you know to do math? Macam mana kamu nak tahu kamu boleh baca buku? So think of class chemistry ni is like reading, learning how to read, learning how to write. Kalau kamu nak tulis, if you want to understand the language of pharmacy, you have to learn how to write the letters first, and the letters are made out of chemistry stuff. Kamu mesti tahu what is matter, what is atoms, how does different atoms combine with one another. Macam mana ubat paracetamol tu boleh bertindak balas with the body, how can it relieve pain. So to explain that, you have to understand the chemistry. Untuk jelaskan kenapa ubat ni kena makan lepas makan, kenapa tak boleh makan anytime you want. So there's a reason, and to explain the chemistry, the pharmacy stuff, the pharmacology, the pharmacokinetics, you have to understand the chemistry. Basically, it's like chemistry. Think of chemistry as like the letters of the language of pharmacy, the words. Before you can make up the sentence to explain the pharmacy of something, kamu mesti tahu nak menulis, nak membaca, so that you can speak up. Okay? So dalam our teaching and learning ni, online teaching and learning, kita akan guna ITEL. Tapi the problem is, saya notice, ITEL yang saya ada access to is only for KPJ UC, nilai campus only. Cohort 8, saya silap tulis lah, saya tulis 13 kat sini. Kamu cohort 18 kan, my bad. So cohort 18 daripada Penang. So saya tak ada access untuk ITEL kamu. Saya baru perasan ni tadi masa saya nak enroll the students. So yang ada access is your lecturer ini, Najihah. Okay, so saya kena contact Miss Najihah, tanya boleh tak bagi saya access so that I can upload the materials for you to access. Kamu tak boleh access the one in KPJ UC nilai punya kan? Saya dah enroll cohort 42, tapi saya tak boleh enroll cohort 18 dalam this nilai punya campus ITEL ni. So kat sini saya upload all the materials. Kat atas ni ada video lectures. Saya gunakan video lectures YouTube lah, saya buat satu playlist so that kalau macam kamu tak faham saya bercerita ni, saya cerita ni sangkut-sangkut, perkataan pun berterabur. There's a playlist here yang saya dah pilih personally that berkait dengan our syllabus. And the videos mostly are 3 minutes, 5 minutes, not more than 10 minutes. Ada some saja, a few, 2 ataupun 3 video yang longer than 10 minutes. Okay, so saya prefer this Professor Dave ni because dia explain dengan mudah, dia ada good visuals, simple short videos to explain the concept, the principles of chemistry. So saya akan bagi homework. Usually it works like this. Kalau kita ada class next Monday, so a few days before our class start tu saya akan bagi like a homework, home assignment. Okay, watch video 1 and 2. So that bila kita mula kelas hari Isnin nanti, you have an idea what we are going to learn, what we are going to discuss dalam kelas. So kalau contohnya macam next week, kita nak mula kelas, tengok dulu video ni, video 2 dan video 3. So by next week, you know already what is the different types of matter, elements, compound, mixture tu apa. Video number 3, measurement and significant figures. What are measurements and significant figures? Sorry ya, ada orang datang. Excuse me. Okay, excuse me, sorry. Shopee deliver barang. Sir, ada seorang record 18 line problem sebelum take 5 tadi. Okay, alright, it's okay, tak apa. Saya faham. Hari ni kita tak mula lagi our syllabus. Tak masuk chapter 1 lagi, so it's okay. Kat mana saya stop tadi? Oh, I tell, okay. So I tell, saya explain about videos. So next week later today saya akan bagi tahu lah, saya akan inform selalunya dalam WhatsApp group, saya akan bagi tahu okay for next week class tengok dulu video ni dan video ni. It's just a 2 or 3, 4 minute videos. So kalau kamu ada 3 hari, kalau ada macam ada 3 video, at least you can watch 1 video a day. It's 5 minutes a day. Okay? You don't even have to do like any writing, just tengok saja. Saya nak kamu like have a sense, an idea of what we are going to talk about. Okay, also we have 2 reference ebook yang saya letak kat sini. The first one is ni, kamu boleh download. Size dia terlalu besar. So the first one, saya dah share screen belum? Okay, I did. So the first one kat sini adalah Martin Silverberg ni. So kalau kamu click on this link, dia akan bring you to my Google Drive punya link. It's a PDF ebook. So tekan download. The size is too big, so dia akan bagi this ni lah warning. Tak boleh scan for virus, but I can assure you it's never been like outside from the Google Drive. Saya tak transfer from pen drive. So I downloaded this and you can download anyway. If you click download anyway, dia akan download into your device. Okay? This is size dia besar, 100 something, 173. So make sure kamu jangan guna data lah. So Martin Silverberg is the first ebook, reference book. Yang kedua adalah Raymond Chang punya ebook. So this one saya baru add. So ada dekat bawah sini. Saya rasa kat sini yang ini lagi it's user friendly if that's the word. Okay, saya rasa saya mudah faham. It is simplified. So saya recommend ni jugalah kalau kamu nak download dia. Okay, ada 2 buku rujukan. Also saya attach lecture notes kat sini. If you click on bahagian lecture notes, kamu boleh download ke semuanya untuk cohort 42. Untuk cohort 18 later saya akan share dalam WhatsApp group dululah. Okay? Tak ada, saya rasa tak ada WhatsApp group lagi kan? Group 18, cohort 18. So kalau belum ada, kamu boleh just add saya dalam main group. Tak payah buat group baru. Kalau kamu prefer buat group baru, you can buat group baru. Yeah, I don't mind. And also saya akan upload the recorded Google Meet punya videos. So ini untuk cohort 41. So untuk cohort 41 saya attach lah all the Google Meet recorded videos kat dalam ni. It's still ongoing. So this is the video yang ada so far lah. I think I link a YouTube video. So it's a video of me with the Google Meet interface. Okay, so that's the ITEL, all the materials, reference book, lecture videos, apa lagi? Lecture notes semua ada dekat atas ni. Okay, ini untuk cohort 42. Cohort 18 tak boleh ni lagi. Untuk different topics saya dah attach all the materials in here also. So kalau macam contohnya saya ada buat, saya nak bagi tutorial, I will post the tutorial here. So contohnya macam ini yang 41 punya. So contohnya macam ini saya bagi tahu, cohort 41, watch this video, video 3, 4 dan 5 before class next week. So saya beritahu dekat dalam topik ni. So they have to check lah before class next week, mula nak kena tengok video apa. Kalau ada tutorial saya akan post kat sini juga. So kat sini saya attach quizzes ni. Saya suka guna quizzes because dia dah grade siap-siap. Saya senang saya nak organize. So saya selalu bagi tutorial dalam quizzes. Test pun saya guna quizzes. Later saya akan explain macam mana assessment kita buat. Okay. So chapter 2 ada kat sini, 3, 4 semualah according to the topic. Saya akan letak the materials and the assessment and announcement dalam topik yang berkenaan. Okay, Untuk cohort 18, kalau kita tak boleh nak resolve the issue, saya akan relay all information melalui WhatsApp group lah. Okay, maybe kalau kamu prefer Telegram ke, whichever you guys prefer. Kalau tak boleh guna ITEL KPJIC, I just follow whatever you prefer lah, WhatsApp ke Telegram. Okay.
Sir.
Yes.
How about the code number 42?
Sorry?
Number for enroll 42 C42.
Yeah. What about it?
We cannot open the item. I have to
I
give
cannot
the
open.
yeah enroll.
One minute sebab saya baru buat pagi tadi. Saya rasa saya dah buat, saya tak save. 1 minute. Users, enrolled users. Enroll users. Select cohort 42. Enroll. Okay. Is this you guys? Tanush Bati? Can you guys try now? Dah boleh join belum? Dah boleh masuk belum?
Okay sir, we'll try.
Ni ada Catherine Puah ada, saya nampak ni Patricia ada. Kamu semua ni cohort 42 kan? Juga sini saya perasan nama tadi. Okay. So sementara kamu try tu, saya akan continue with the briefing of the assessment method. Macam mana kita akan buat assessment of our module ni. So kita akan buat every teaching and learning and assessment with online online method. Kita akan ada 3 bahagian. Okay, saya akan wait a minute. 26, 24 and 20. Untuk MCO assessment, the full marks adalah 80%. Okay, so this 80% comes from test 1, test 2, tutorials, okay, beberapa tutorials dan juga assignment. Alright, so untuk test 1, dia hanyalah sebanyak 15%. The second one sebanyak 20%. Yang ini sebanyak another 15%. And the assignment is 30%. Assignment ni, yang tutorial ni ada a couple of series of tutorial lah. So tutorial selalunya akan ada 4 tutorials from 4 different chapters. Assignment from 4 different chapters. So kesemuanya kita ada 10 chapters. 10 chapters. So selalunya saya akan pilih 4 of them, saya akan pilih untuk tutorial. Lagi 4 saya akan pilih untuk assignment. So this 15% ni comes from 4 tutorials. This 30% comes from 4 chapters. Okay, 4 chapters untuk assignment, 4 chapters lagi untuk tutorial. So assignment selalunya dalam bentuk mind map, kamu kena buat mind map. So mind map about a topic, mind map about a chapter. Kamu kena buat, saya pernah bagi assignment untuk tulis essay ataupun presentation ataupun what do you call that? A problem solving questions. Dia macam saya bagi satu situation, you have to write to solve the problems within that situation. So these are the types of assignment yang saya dah pernah bagilah for the past 2 years, 2020 and 2021. Kalau tutorial, saya prefer guna either quizzes ataupun Google Form. Tapi most of the time saya guna quizzes because simple, mudah untuk saya organize. Okay. Untuk test, saya guna quizzes juga. Okay, for test saya guna quizzes, but dengan quizzes ni, from my experience panjang 2020 and 2021 ni, students don't have like tak ada masa yang free. Everyone is not free at the same time. Kalau kita dekat campus, masuk kelas, okay, obviously kamu ada 1 jam yang free, so saya boleh buat test dengan senang. Sebab kamu datang kelas. Tapi kalau kita buat kelas online ni, kamu dekat rumah, kamu duduk dengan family, sometimes you have to help out, kamu tak free. Okay, so kalau saya buat test ni, saya akan bagi link tu live for 24 hours. Katakanlah so, kalau macam saya announce, test is on Friday. So that means saya akan give you a link that goes live from 8 AM Friday to 8 AM Saturday. So you have 24 hours, kamu kena find lah a time, 1 jam setengah, 90 minutes yang kamu betul-betul free untuk kamu buat test ni. Okay, so that's why saya prefer quizzes. Because the kami exam unit perlu bagi requirement, we need to control the amount of time yang student boleh buat this test online. Because kami tak boleh nak monitor. Kalau kamu datang kelas, kami boleh monitor. After 1 hour, okay, done, that's it. Kamu habis ke tak habis jawab, you have to submit. So the same thing lah kat sini. After the time is ended, because dengan quizzes, saya boleh set time limit untuk setiap soalan. So saya boleh control, saya boleh monitor in that sense. So that's why saya prefer guna quizzes untuk buat test. Kalau dalam tutorial, saya tak perlu set time soalan. So kamu ada masalah untuk buat. Okay. So saya prefer guna quizzes. The test will go like this lah. Kalau saya announce on Friday, the link will be live from 8 AM to 8 AM the next day. Kamu cari masa, kamu free sendiri. Okay, faham? So the link tu saya akan post dekat ITEL, ataupun kalau tak boleh, macam cohort 18, saya akan post kat dalam WhatsApp group lah. Okay, we have to have a record dalam ITEL. Tapi kalau ITEL problem, there's no choice. Alright, so this is the assessment method. 15 campur 20 campur 15 campur 30 is 80%. So the exam unit akan convert this to 100%. So kalau kamu score 40% out of 80, that means overall kamu dapat 50% out of 100. This is the passing mark. Okay, so untuk lulus, bare minimum kamu perlu dapat 40%. Any questions tentang assessment method? So bila saya bagi tutorial tu, saya akan bagi tahu lah, this is your graded tutorial, meaning tutorial ni akan digunakan as your grade. Okay, saya akan gunakan markah yang kamu dapat from this tutorial sebagai your markah untuk 15%. Okay, clear everyone? Okay, so kalau tidak ada soalan, I think that's it for our class today. I've explained about the module, I've assessed your understanding, and also I've briefed about the assessment method. So untuk our next class, saya nak kamu, this is your first homework, watch the videos. Okay, so tengok video nombor 1, 2 dan 3 dulu. Kamu yang dah boleh join ITEL, tengok video 1, 2 dan 3. Kalau untuk cohort 18, later saya akan share this playlist dalam WhatsApp. So kamu boleh watch the video juga. So this is a YouTube playlist. So kamu ada over the weekend, beberapa hari until our next class, 3 or 4 days. So kamu boleh tengok satu video satu hari. Okay, just 5-minute videos. That's what saya prefer. Because saya pun tak suka tengok video lama-lama ni.
Types of that
Okay. So kalau tidak ada soalan lah, thank you. Make sure you sign in to today's attendance. Dah hilang lah kat atas tadi. Okay, ini dia punya attendance. Bagi yang join lambat, saya akan post lagi sekali. I'll paste it here kat bawah. So yang belum sign in to today's attendance, please sign in. Okay guys, nice meeting you. Thank you for participating in today's class. Don't forget to watch the videos for next class. Okay, bye-bye. Stay safe. See you next week.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.